What comes after the global pandemic?
Well, an emotional, mental, and ecological transformation, an opportunity for ecological consciousness raising.
Could you elaborate further?
Yes, of course, that was a mouthful. As after any crisis, changes are inevitable. This time, though, the changes were like just a destructive tsunami, with high waves, darkness hitting us with vigor, vengeance, persistence, and strength. This is the time to honestly evaluate ourselves, reinvent ourselves, if you may, learn from our history and our past. We all know that influenza caused a pandemic in 1918. While we overcame it, the lessons learned were not passed on to the next generations. We continued our overpopulation, deforestation, abusing Mother Earth and women, and cycles of violence continued to flourish until 2019 October, when the imbalance caused the birth of a new virus.
So, what would be the lessons that you are seeing?
Lessons are unique. It's not something I can prescribe and say, these are your lessons and go and learn them. Lessons are not easy to explain. It's a collective and individual effort to do more, to learn more, to transform ourselves, to be better every day, even every moment. It's a perfect time to ask ourselves, how do I change my life? What are my negative patterns and how do I change them?
How long do you think this is going to last?
um, First, know this, we can do it. We are all in this together. We cannot continue using our old ways, trying to pretend to get positive results. We can keep asking incessantly, just like you just asked, how long is this going to last? Or we can take the charge in our hands and ask ourselves the real question, how long am I going to continue resisting real change? It's time to stop. Get off your robotic treadmill and connect quietly and honestly with yourself. But stop, don't judge yourself. Remember that our worst enemy lives right here between our two ears in our mind. Evict the negativity and move to mindful action. Be honest. How many hours do you spend in front of a screen?
Oh, way too many.
Way too many. In front of phone, screen, iPad, computer, television, laptop. The research from 2016, now this is before COVID-19, revealed that in average we spend about 10 hours in front of a screen. We are not spending time outdoors in nature where we can connect to energy, the nature, to balance ourselves and to become more in tune with the nature, with the rhythm of nature.
Right. How does nature impact our physical or mental, emotional health?
It's a very good question because a lot of people say, what does nature have to do with my mental health or physical health? Remember the saying, we shape our environment and then the environment shapes us. So therefore, we at Meaningful World have been researching and lecturing the impact, the positive impact of nature over 32 years. The importance of ecology, Mother Earth, on mind, body, and spirit. In our 7-step integrative healing model, the 6th step is about ecological harmony, ecological consciousness, nurturing Mother Earth and ourselves. Exposure and engagement in nature has been linked to a host of benefits, including improved attention, lowering stress, lowering our blood pressure, improving our cardiac function, improving our mood, reducing risk of heart attack, reducing risk of psychiatric disorders, improved empathy, and emotional intelligence. Just a few
Yeah,
I
wow.
mentioned.
That's very impressive. Why do the physicians don't educate us on this stuff?
Well, that's the $1 million question, but it's very simple because physicians focus and are educated on the medical model. The medical model waits until you are sick so that they can diagnose and treat the illness. It is not a preventive method. Remember what when we were in Haiti, we were told physicians work on the body, psychologists work on the mind, and ecologists work on nature. But Meaningful World works on all of these together in a holistic method. That is why it's important for us to create dozens of additional problems and side effects with medicine. But with nature, you prevent all that and you build the immune system, which is exactly what we need in these times of
Exactly.
COVID 19, where it's impacting our immune system.
So, what are the cognitive benefits of being in nature?
Oh, yes, tremendous. And many research studies, one from University of Chicago, in fact, has shown that green spaces near schools especially promote cognitive development, while green spaces near our homes and living spaces provide us more self-controlled behavior, self-discipline, and we suffer less from attention deficit disorder as well as ADHD. Living in green spaces improves our working memory, so therefore increases the cognitive flexibility, attention control, decreases our stress levels, and increases our creativity. When we have less stress, then we create more, and promotes healthy sleeping patterns. So you have realized, I'm sure, when you go camping or you go on vacation in green areas, you're sleeping so soundly and restfully. While living in urban, highly populated areas is linked to attention deficit disorder, high stress, a lot of other physical problems. Another research focusing on um, the biophilia hypothesis, which is the science of humans interacting with natural spaces, argues that since our ancestors evolved in wild and natural spaces and wilderness, we in fact have inherited this need to be in nature for our sustenance, for our basic survival. For example, our stress is reduced if we are surrounded by at least a dozen trees.
Oh,
One of my trees had died, and I was searching to find what tree to buy. And in my research, I found this incredible experimental research that if you have minimum of 12 trees around your living environment, you are going to be healthier, just like that. And there is that Japanese forest bathing method, which just means that you're not really bathing, which means you're walking in a forest, and that is prescribed for healthy life,
wow,
healthy living.
that's fascinating.
Yeah. So trees are very important not only for visual and experiential, but because they have heartbeats and they have sounds, the wind going through it, and those sounds create relaxation and increase our relaxation hormone and decreases the cortisol that produces stress.
So, how is it that these sounds in nature impact our health?
Yes. So I'm sure you took a yoga class and
Mm.
they had sounds of the ocean or sounds of birds chirping. An excellent question it is because a lot of people really utilize the nature sound. The sounds of nature have been found to heal us in an experimental research. Sound of nature and viewing nature, even from your own window, for those who are disabled or for those who are not able to come out of their spaces, especially at this time of crisis. I would recommend looking through the window to a tree or an ocean or a river or a blue sky. That even viewing it from indoors will help. The experimental research is proving. Sounds of nature are recuperative, such as sounds of cricket chirping, sounds of waves crashing,
Wind
the winds
blowing.
blowing, just like now, sounds of breeze going through the leaves were all associated with ultimate relaxation, improved test scores. Can you imagine that? As well as improved physical health, such as decreased high blood pressure again, improve heart functioning, as well as balancing our nervous system. More time in nature also promotes happiness. Children who spend more time outdoors in green spaces have reduced risk of developing depression, mood disorders, and other mental health disorders later in life. Nature increases our happiness.
So we can't live without it.
Yes, indeed, we can't.
Thanks for these insights and up to date research. Just what do you suggest or what are your recommendations for people to improve their health through ecological consciousness?
Yes, that's a very important question. When we are traumatized or when we are in fear, we have usually three different reactions. We move away, we run away, we don't want to face it, we freeze, we don't know what to do, or we fight back or face the fear and our challenge. I would recommend to move to action with reflection, move into right direction towards self-love, self-care, self-compassion with kindness and forgiveness. Start planting something green right today. Maybe a tree, maybe just a plant, a rosemary plant or lavender in your own apartment. You can plant anything you want, maybe on your windowsill. Or if you have a terrace, that's wonderful. We will help you start a peace and forgiveness garden if you have a space. We can even create it within your terrace or balcony or small places. Or in front of your company, corporation, or school. A few more examples of ways to connect to nature is start waking up early to watch the sunrise. Watching the sunrise increases our hope and energizes us. Watch the sunset, which fills us with confidence and warmth while gives us closure. Or sit still under a tree or read your favorite book under a tree, which fills us with confidence and warmth and also decreases our blood pressure and promotes stress reduction. We can walk in the park, stop and smell roses though, touch the leaves of the trees or hug a tree, especially now with COVID-19 when we can't hug one another. It's very important. If you have a river or ocean or a sea near you, immerse your body in the water and let the water flow away and take away all your sorrows and troubles and refresh yourself and show you possibilities. For people who are disabled or not able to leave their room, for example, you can listen from the window to nature. You can also benefit from, we talked about the sound of nature, looking through your window. And I could go on and on. I want to emphasize that we recommend continuing to wear masks and practicing social, not social, it's physical distancing. while socially connecting. We need to find ways to socially connect because this isolation is not healthy for us. We are social animals.
Yes.
We need to increase with Zoom, phone calls, and any other way, from terraces, saying hello, coming out to the gardens and saying hello to each other. Very important to really strengthen the social fabric, which helps us heal as well. Um, Another way to improve our health is to nurture our emotional intelligence, diversifying our assets by engaging in loving kindness. Do something good for your neighbor. The wind is very, very strong today. Take groceries, for example, for someone who is older and is not able to come out of their isolation. And stop searching for happiness outside of yourself, because everything you need is within you. So take this journey to discover your essence. There you will find, or you will discover, a deeper meaning in your life. As we say at Meaningful World, when one helps another, both become stronger. Thank you so much.
Thank